Okay, so this video right here should apply to a lot of people that could benefit from this. I've been using this now for 9-10 months maybe, so it's tried and true. I bought this myself. No, nobody sponsored me. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody asked me to check it out. I bought it because I use it for a lot of things, and I think a lot of hams for field day, for emergency preparedness, for hurricanes, for traveling, for RVers. I got an RV. I use it in the RV. I think this right here will appeal to a lot of people. I'm going to show you a quick video and give you some old footage I took like 5 months ago when I used it to get some expensive meats from my brother-in-law's farm. This is made by BougeRV, I guess they call it. This is a 12/24 volt electric fridge and freezer. I think I paid, I got to look online, I think I paid like $2.59 for it. It was on sale on Amazon. The link is in the description. There's a bunch of fridges and freezers like this that are on the market. A lot of people making videos. That's fine. I've just thought this would be a good video to make. So I have this plugged in with the AC power adapter there, okay? And I'll show you, like I said, some old footage. This will go all the way down to below freezing, okay? This will go like down to, you know, like at lowest I've had it, I think it was -8 degrees Fahrenheit. And it draws minimal power, guys. I think the rating says, here's the ratings right here, 12/24 volts, 45 watts, 3.7 amps. So if you looked at the video of that portable power pack I have that's got the 120 inverter built in with the lithium ion battery, I did a video on that, and in that video months ago I showed this running on that portable pack where it ran for almost 24 hours on eco mode inside, okay? We've used this for a hurricane when Michelle's daughter came over. She had a bunch of meat. She lost power. She didn't want to lose all her chicken stuff and all kinds of meats. I used this 2 weeks ago when I was traveling. I used it last week when I had mussels and clams and scallops that I made for me and my aunt. And I wanted to keep them out of the fridge so it didn't make the fridge stink, but keep them in here and keep them iced down and the ice never melted. Great stuff. So you can run this thing on something like that Bio-Uno battery right there. If you had that Bio-Uno with a little bit of a little inverter, a small inverter, right? Lithium iron phosphate or LiFePO4 battery with a solar panel even during the day, you know, to keep the battery charged. And then, man, you could run this thing for a long time. Or you could just have this thing running beer at the Daytona 500 and have some ice cold friggin' Busch, man. I mean, this thing's awesome. So the size of it inside, it's got a nice seal around here, right? And it does show you on here again the temperatures for meats. It acts like a fridge and or a freezer. It's not dual zone. Some of them are dual zone, but I didn't need dual zone. If I want to put beer and stuff in here, I could use this for, you know, at like 34 degrees and keep that shit ice cold. Or I can use it for frozen meats, but you can't have both. There was a divider in here. I took it out. I don't know where it was, but the divider stayed here. And you can have, you know, drinks on one side, whatever. But here's the size of it, right? This is my arm here, right? I could fit, you know, my whole arm in there if I want to. It'll fit two, like, you could put 2 10-pound bags of ice in here if you want. You could put, I don't know, like 6-pack. You know, you get the idea. And I'll show you in a second the kind of meats that I had. But anyways, right now I just turned it on for display. It's warm in here, 74, but you'll see in the other part of the video here, it was frozen, right? So basically you can unlock this and you can set this to max or eco mode. Eco mode on that inverter pack that I have, that whatever they call that thing, was pulling like, I don't know, 30 watts. That's not a lot, man. That's not a lot at all. And like I said, you can all right, -8. So I've had it like -3 or 4. And then high or low, okay? So, or medium. So you can get it iced down and then turn it down to save some battery power if you're using it solar. It's quiet. Listen. Listen. I mean, there's not much going on for noise, okay? I'm only talking loud because I got the TV behind me in the other room and the fan and stuff, but almost silent, okay? When you're picking this thing up, how much does it weigh? I'm not sure. The specs are probably on the Amazon link. Doesn't say on here. Uses R134A foaming agent. Cyclopentane. I don't know what that is. Now, one thing to note about this, before I wrap this video up and show you some of the other clips. When you get this, you must, I repeat, you must keep this level like this for 12, 24 hours. Let the Freon and oil sit if it's never been ran. Mine did come this way in the box from Amazon, so I had to lay it down like this. If you're driving, I use this thing when I'm driving out of town for work. I'm all over the state of Florida, going to different sites and different cities. You know, instead of buying drinks on the road, I could use this in the back seat of my. I got an inverter, 400 watt inverter in the back of my Nissan in the cab. I plug it in there, and then when I get to the hotel at night, I turn the truck off and I plug this into that power bank I have. Look at that video. It's an orange. You know, it's in the truck now, but. It does 12 volt out or 120 volt out, right? And it would run all night on eco, keep everything cold. I'd jump in the truck in the morning, and then I'd turn the inverter on, charge the battery pack that ran all night, and keep this thing cold. I could load this with Powerades and body armor and BioLite and all kinds of stuff and water bottles and never have to worry about going to gas stations and being out in the middle of Sumatra where there's nothing up in North Florida. And I can always have ice cold drinks, or if you want to put lunch in there, keep your lunch cold or whatever, okay? Great thing to have. Anybody can use this. The only reason I'm telling you about this is because I've had it for, I think, over a year, actually, I think. Yeah, I've had it over a year because Hurricane Helene, or Milton, when Milton came, that's when her daughter came over and I had to use it for the food. So I've had it over a year, and it's never failed. One thing to note, do not, I'll do it now. Yeah, you can't hear that. You never want to run this thing unless it's flat, okay? It'll start hissing down here. The compressor does whatever. So if this thing is not perfectly level in your truck, don't run it for an extended period of time like this. Don't do that, whatever you do. Freon has oil. Compressor requires oil. No Freon in compressor, no oil in compressor. You get it? You got to make sure that the compressor is full of oil and it doesn't lock up, but... So running this thing on an angle, even like in my truck, it'll sit like this in the seat, and I have to put something behind it to keep the back up. A great little cooler, man. I love it for 200 and something. Check the current price on the link down below in the Amazon. So let me just show you some of the little video bits just to shout out to my brother-in-law, Tyler T-Bone. Locals Best Cuts, farm to table down in Fort Lauderdale. I actually took this one day and I was down there already and I had this thing running and I filled it up with a bunch of frozen foods and rabbit and filet mignon and pork loin and sausage and all kinds of stuff. So you can see proof that this thing actually works, and it's a really cool piece of gear. All right, here's your real life testimonial right here. So you can see the condensation on here. This thing is cold inside. I have it set to freeze. -8 degrees Fahrenheit, which it really only hit when I'm driving about -3, but it's packed full. But when you pack it full like that with frozen goods, it stays that cold for a while, okay? If it's empty and you open the lid, it's gonna drain out real fast. It's gonna warm up real fast. So just like a fridge or a freezer, when there's nothing in it, there's no substance inside to keep it. Now, I have this plugged in right now on 120 to an inverter that's built into this Nissan. If I don't do that, I use that. I made a video on that power station right here, which is just thrown in the back. Yeah, I got my ham radio cables and stuff. It's a mess back here. But I killed that today. So in freeze mode, that ran from 9 o'clock this morning. It died about 6 o'clock. That compressor is running almost all day to keep it frozen. Right now, it is set to, it's at 0 degrees, okay? And when I open this, there's a thermometer inside, and I'll open it and we'll see what it says. But I know for a fact it's frozen inside. Okay. I mean, it says -4. Now the lid's open, okay? And just for fun, I will tell you inside about my brother-in-law's business. Locals Best Cuts in Fort Lauderdale, farm to table. There is some serious high quality meat in here. Why would I have, you know, you got to have something like this to keep that from thawing out. I got filet mignon and a 5-pound roast in there. Let me show you inside what's in there. One of the things Michelle loves is the farm fresh eggs. Our happy hens are fed an all vegetarian, high quality grain diet, never using antibiotics, steroids, or animal byproducts. Taste and see the difference. Love these eggs right here. These are real farm fresh eggs. And also, one of the things that I like cooking with is their Italian sausage. I can put this in anything from tomato sauce to hamburger helper to lasagna, ravioli, right here, Italian sausage. They got some pretty good stuff, man. This is not the same Italian sausage you'd get in the store, I promise you. Why do you think I bought a cooler and would drive down to my brother's house and buy the stuff from his, business because of this kind of quality? Right? This is one of Michelle's favorite right here, the filet mignon. What do you think, honey? The filet mignon is
delicious.
I have turned her into a filet mignon junkie with a cast iron pan, but wait, there's more. Let's go over here. Look at this. You want real bacon? You want real bacon? Check this out. Uncured, naturally smoked bacon. Now, you're going to get something that is just way better than what you'll get in the store, I promise you. You may say, well, I can't afford that, Eric. Well, you know what? I can. Unfortunately, some people can't. But this is not a video to brag. This is a video to just show you my brother-in-law has a great business. And I hope, if anybody's interested, look at it. Hit the website out. Look at it. Go check out the pheasant and the partridge. All right. So how long does it take to cool? Well, final words. About 2 hours you can get this thing to frozen temps. With nothing in it, it's not gonna hold. If you open it like this, cold air comes right out. When you have this thing packed full of something, whether it be I know, honey, I see it out the window. Wow, we got chaotic Cat 5 thunderstorm coming through. If you have this full, it's gonna maintain, yes. This lid does seal really well, and no problem. But if there's nothing in here and you put a can of Coke in there and you open this, I mean, there's nothing, like that's ice cold already since I started that video. So it's been about 15 minutes. But for it to get frozen, yeah, you want to keep it full. I hope you remain subscribed because it doesn't have to be just a ham radio on this channel. And wait until I tell you about that. Every ham can use one of those. 7-3.